All right, just had a little disturbance there that I had to attend to. It's all the stuff that goes on in the background when you're making videos. We left off by going into edit form, so that's modify and edit form, and we were just going around the outside of the knife blade, pulling in these points that were not quite not quite at the edge. All right, and just to do that now, we're going to go in like that. And for most of the rest of the time here, we're going to concentrate on trying to get these these outer curves to match the curvature of the knife. All right. So where we can, we're going to make minor adjustments here. So for example, this face. Let's look at this. I just need to push it out a little bit to match. There we go. And this face here, we can pull that out a little bit to match. This is going to be an awfully big change to make to this rectangle without disturbing these rectangles, because if I move this one too much, you'll see it disturbs everything else, right? So because we don't want that to happen, I think one of the things I'm going to need to do here is probably split this face and yeah, I'm probably going to have to go and split that face and to get the desired shape I need. Because every time I keep putting this piece, this point here up to this part of the knife blade, there's this giant hole right here, which is a bit of a problem, right? And I also need to be a little bit careful because it's starting to look like I'm getting dangerously close to crossing my faces here, and I don't want to do that either. So where we have radical motions that we have to do and there's risk of twisting the faces, it's probably a good idea if I don't twist the faces and I just add some extra pieces here and here. So just to give you an idea of that, I'm going to split this rectangle into two, and we do that by going modify and insert point, and I'm going to insert a point here and a point here, and I'm going to press return, and automatically that makes a whole new control point here. And I go back to edit form, and it allows me to take this point and pull it in. Oops. Let's try that again. This point, and allows me to pull it in without destroying the shape of everything else to any great degree. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. All right, and now I have to take this and pull it in like that. And now I should click on this face, and we're going to try and kind of move it a bit so that it matches up. And you can sort of see what's going on here. Now this face here is really drastic. Okay, and so I'm going to take this control point and I'm going to move it back a little bit like this. And I'm just doing that because I don't want this face or this face to get too small or too radically changed. Okay, so for example, this control point here, I'm going to move that down just a touch. And this here, you sort of see that there's a bit of a swoosh in the knife blade design. So this point, I'm going to kind of move it up so that it matches, oops, I'm on the wrong piece, so that it matches sort of the curvature of the knife blade. So this point here, it would be nice to kind of match it up with here, and that way this curve matches sort of that glare kind of thing on the knife. That means this point I could probably pull it out to here a little bit. Okay, so to me that looks kind of nice. Let's see, so this I have to fix now, and this I have to fix. So let's go to this point, and we're going to pull it down a little bit, and we'll go to this point and pull it down just a touch. And it seems that we still have to do a little bit of work on this. So this time I'm going to go to this face, and I'm going to pull it up so that the curvature matches, and this face, and pull it up just a touch to match the curvature. Okay, and it looks like I'm going to have to pretty radically change this one. So I don't want to move these points too far off the knife handle. All right, so if I take this face here and I try to move it, you'll notice that it kind of destroys all the curvature that I've done already. So it tells me that I should click on this point and move it out. and click on this point and move it out so that it matches the edge. But I really should add an extra point in here, split this face and pull it out to this point, okay? So it's kind of like where I need more detail, I add more faces, all right? So we do that by just going into Insert Point, and I'm going to go midpoint to midpoint, like that, and press Return, and that gives me a whole new control point to add detail to. And of course, I go back to Edit Form, and I click up here, and I pull out, like that, press Return, and we're getting close to finished here, all right, which is nice, but we go around our edges, and oh wait, I still have to fix that, and I still have to fix these outside pieces a bit. So these are small motions, like that, and this one's a big one. So to fix this, I'm probably going to have to split the face. So let's do this first. Yeah, so let's go into Modify and Edit Form, and we're going to click on this face, and we're going to move it until it matches right there. Good. This point, I'm just going to pull it back a touch, like that. And once again, I'm going to pull this up. And this point here, I'm going to try and pull it back. And eventually, we're going to get this point on the blade, and we're going to get the shape I want as well. You kind of have to play around with it a bit. All right. The next part is to kind of pull in these points, like so. And you want to kind of try and do it. Oops. Not sure what happened there. I think I accidentally zoomed in, but that's okay. Zooming in allows you to see this stuff in more detail, and is probably a good idea. I get hunched over the computer sometimes, and I forget that I'm also trying to make videos so that they're totally understandable. So I put in all this work to get my knife blade all the way around like this, and of course now I have to fix this piece because everything else is fixed, and well, maybe this point we could move in a touch. Like that. Everything else is pretty much fixed, but this is a huge deviation. There's no way I can pull this side in without messing everything else up. So that's one of those cases where I have more detail than my spline or my line here is able to perform. So we'll go into Modify and Insert Point. And we'll go from here to here, so midpoint to midpoint, and we cut it in half. And it looks like it's distorted things a little bit, so I'm going to have to fix some of this just a touch. All right, and again, it's just a patience thing when it comes to the modeling side here. All right, just like that. This face, I think I'm going to do the whole face here, like so. That works. And so now I just have to fix these two parts here and maybe this face here. So this face, it looks like I could probably rotate that a touch and have that work. That's good. And let's hope that I can pull this in without damaging my curvature too much. Okay, looks like I can do that. And that means I just had to do a nice gentle push out here, like so, and a nice gentle push out here. And you'll notice that if I go straight up, and if it doesn't match the curvature, I can just push it to the left and right a little bit, and I click. And it looks like I'm pretty much done on my knife handle. So, next thing we're going to do is see whether or not we need to move any of these points around at all. And it doesn't really look like it, but I think I might move this one up a touch, like that, if for no other reason that I'm still kind of playing around with this, and you know, to me this looks nice. Okay, I like it. My splines kind of follow this curvature a little bit like this, and I've got the knife handle done. Maybe if I wanted to be all perfectionist, I could probably pull in this a little bit like so, and that's pretty much it. Now, the cool part. I go to Finish Form, like so, and that takes me back into the model environment. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn our canvas off, and this is now our knife blade. So let's take a look at it. So we'll go to Bodies, and we'll go into Free Orbit, like so, and that's my knife handle. All right, in all its wondrous glory here. Okay, so that's exactly the kind of thing that I was looking for. Now, the only thing I'm going to say here is that this is far from perfect, though. All right, because really, to be able to have this knife handle work properly, what I should also be able to do is see what shape the knife handle should take in this direction. And of course, I didn't have a picture of that. All right, so if I don't have a picture of it from this end-on point of view, I can't capture this round shape here so much. But from the looks of things, this isn't too far off. So I'm actually pretty happy with the results here. So I'm just going to escape out of my drawing here, or my free orbit, and we are going to go into the next step. So just so I don't lose any of my work or anything, I'm going to go save. I'm going to call this knife handle REM, like so, and we're going to press save. And as this video is getting a little bit on the long side, I'm going to cut it short here, and we're going to come back and we're going to cut it in half and drill some holes in it for the screws, and we're pretty much finished. So we'll call an end to the video, and I'll see you in a couple of moments.